Okay, we're being recorded now, which is great. Um, and you were just talking about how the difference between the mind and the brain. And from one of these morning classes, um, I showed something like this. I showed this slide in it. And
Oh,
it makes this exact point that um, kind of minds under construction is what we're doing always. Here's the unconscious mind. See, I believe our beliefs, ideas, emotions come way deep from down here, but they bubble up to your conscious moment. You're only conscious in the moment. But the author of this article in Scientific American made this beautiful statement. We actually have no idea of how conscious experience arises from this blob of matter, right? The physical brain that
hmm
weighs 3 pounds. It's really still very much a mystery.
hmm
And I think the work we're doing is actually getting at this difference between the brain and the mind. Precognition, this ability to gather information from the future, blows the intellectual mind because it seems like the information is coming. We don't understand it. The intellect can't understand it, but it's like it's coming from outside of space and time because you're getting information from distant places in the future. And I believe it's all connected to quantum mechanics personally.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yep. It's so. Do you know about their other magazine, Scientific American Mind?
Sure, I do. That's the.
Okay,
Um, I don't subscribe to that one, but I know it's out there.
okay,
Do you subscribe to it?
yeah,
Okay, so they must talk about this in quantum mechanics, and people are leaning more and more to recognizing that quantum mechanics has this thing called non-locality, where there's instant communication, um, and throughout space and time. But I
yeah,
also think there's another perspective that's even more powerful. If you're getting all the intellectual stuff, connecting it personally,
uh-huh.
you in the future are going to be wiser than you are now. And you can use that point of view that the wiser, loving future you is the one who is sending information back through time.
So define wiser for me.
Every time that you do, say, this precognition work, and you
Uh-huh,
do what's called the feedback session, and we're about to talk about that, you
uh-huh.
learn a little bit. The whole purpose of doing it is to become wiser about this particular subject. This can easily
Okay.
be generalized, but that's your objective, to in fact learn a little bit, to learn about yourself, to learn about this connection between the conscious mind and the unconscious or subconscious mind. So, and you get wiser by learning, by wanting to learn, and you're learning about yourself. That's kind of cool, isn't it? This is the way to learn about yourself.
Well, that's something obviously that I believe in a lot.
Yeah, I know you do. This is why so many people are actually attracted to this kind of work because it is it's all about you is what it comes down to. And it's all about watching your consciousness and listening to what comes up from a deeper part of yourself. So what I'm going to suggest today, you ready for this, is that you do it. Um,
Okay.
right. The whole theme of the work on these Wednesday classes is learn by doing.
Okay.
So you've indicated you don't feel you're understanding it and getting it. Um, and I don't know if there's anything in particular or it's just sort of the whole approach you don't get at this point.
No, well, it's you know, the people on the listserv who are, you all are discussing this whole thing about gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and I just, it's too, it's, I, I, mm, I, I'm not feeling up to understanding what it is they're actually talking about.
Okay, I tell you what we're going to do today. There's an active prediction for a baseball game going off later today. I want you to do a prediction, um, and it'll be added to the predictions that everybody else has done. I put you in the Carve group. I don't know, I'm sure you have access to your email,
Yeah,
and you have a Carve group a membership, and then we'll actually do the tasking together. So we'll get there in a minute, but I want to give you just a little bit of background to
right,
put it in context, okay?
yeah,
So you see my screen,
yeah,
and what you're about to do, and this is in linear time, you're about to do a remote viewing session. And the key to that whole remote viewing session is recognizing that the precognition you're doing, that you're getting information from what we call the feedback session. And deep in your gut, in your subconscious, in your unconscious mind, what you need to get is that the information is there already.
yeah,
You're going to be doing that in the future. And when you get quiet, the information comes from your future wiser self. And you see, the plan is to do this over and over again. Every week you're going to do one of these. Um,
okay,
and that's how you learn. And with that intention, the first time you do it, you get whatever you get, but you learn a little bit. The second time you do it, you might get more, but you learn a little
mhm,
bit. And
mhm,
eventually it becomes deep in you what it is you want to do. You want to access information from the future.
mhm,
So when I say precognition begins here, that's really what I mean. Now, what is your target? It turns out what we call a target from the perspective of the remote viewing and the feedback session has nothing to do with the baseball game. This idea that precognition begins with the feedback session is connected to what your cue is, what your task is, which is simply to describe and sketch and we use this 6-digit coordinate, which you're going to get, and we're going to do that shortly. And every person who's doing this has a different coordinate, and they have a different feedback target. But
mhm,
notice I talked about it being a feedback target.
mhm,
Cannot emphasize this enough. You're going to see millions of images between when you do your remote viewing session and when you get your feedback, right? You're in a room now and you're getting images. You're hearing sounds. These targets are called photosites because your subconscious can pick up not only the images that you get from a picture as a two-dimensional picture, but if there's sounds there, your consciousness goes to the target when the picture is taken. You can pick up sounds. You can pick up the fact that there's motion. You can pick up smells. People do this all the time.
mhm,
Okay. So, I mean, believe it or not, I've told you everything you need to know about what we're about to do because it's the connection between remote viewing and the feedback session. And we'll talk about the judging session um, later, but you basically ignore that. You ignore virtually everything else except the communication channel between the remote viewing and the precognition. Okay, so having said that, um, I frankly think we should jump right in.
okay,
Um, so let me take you uh, to your email. I sent you a copy of this Carve email. So why don't you
So I should go to
see?
my email right now?
Yeah, why don't you just go look in your email, and you should be able to find,
Oh, what address did you send it to?
um, my GG Mom or something like
Okay,
that. Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So I've got two. I've got the carve thing and then the new coords task for group carve.
There you go. The first one puts you in the Carve group. So in the future, you're going to get a tasking that looks just like this for the next one that we do. So now you're learning what to do with it. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do with it.
Wait. Go back a second.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the carve app that I'm looking at, and you said, say that again about going to look at
This is it's called the tasking email. All
task.
of the taskings you will get now from Carve will look just like this, except they'll have a different event. You see the event here? It says Major League Baseball, Boston at Detroit.
Wait.
Next week, there'll be a different tasking, but this is how you'll be receiving them. And we have lots of groups, so different groups which have different names. This is called the Carve group. All of them with this protocol that you're using, the We protocol, begin with an email like this.
Oh, I see. So it's the task for group carve email that I'm looking at.
That's exactly right. And so this is a typical one. And when you get through with this all the way through the feedback, which can't come until after the game, you will have completed one prediction, which starts actually with the feedback session. So what you're doing now is in many ways not the first step, but it is in linear time. Hey, we live in linear time. And so I give you this tasking in linear time.
Okay, so when it says click for tasking chords and also uploading of transcripts, what is that about?
Well, that's just right. You now don't have that 6-digit coordinate. I'm going to click on mine, and you should click on yours. Okay?
Wait, where's mine?
In your email, do you see where it says click for tasking?
Yes.
Click there with your mouse or however you go to, the next site.
Okay. Yikes.
So you clicked on it, and you probably got something that looks very much like this, correct?
That looks like group name, and then it goes through alpha, beta, blah, blah, blah.
Right, exactly.
With the bottom being crazy wind.
Okay. Notice this is called the We entanglements. Let's start from the top so you understand exactly what you're looking at. This is the winning entanglements protocol.
Okay.
It's online. You're going to, and you can do it right now, put in your email address.
Okay.
I'm putting in mine, so you're putting in yours. Do you see underneath, and you need to put in the one which you're signed in with, your GMOM one, because you're going to get all the information through that, because that's what you, okay. Now, all of these are different groups that we have within app that use the We Online.
Okay.
The one that's highlighted is Carve.
Oh, okay. So that's mine.
That's the one we're about to do. Okay. Now, near the bottom, you see under where it says 2 coordinates, which are recommended.
Yeah.
but we're going to do one coordinate. We have enough people in Carve, and it's okay, and there are different things. So the one coordinate in the Carve group is highlighted. So you can
Okay.
see, okay. Now I want you, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click here to receive coordinates.
To click here where?
Okay, above where it says 2 coordinates, do you see the
Oh,
little,
yes.
it says click here to receive your coordinates or target reference number.
Okay.
That seems pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to
I see
click.
it.
I'm doing this as you're doing it. In fact, I may even do a session. Okay. Now, on the screen is my coordinate, but yours should be different. Yours, do you see, it says describe and sketch your, and then you have a 6-digit number, right?
So sketch your, yeah, so this one says 497795.
Get a sheet of paper,
Yeah, hang on.
okay? Notice mine is different than yours. In fact, I'm going to do a session 2 just for fun, so we'll do this together.
Okay,
You
which one am I looking down? I don't see where yours is.
You do see mine, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you're not seeing my screen anymore because you can't see my screen and yours at the same time. But if you do
Right.
a control tab and you see mine, and you don't need to look at it, you can just stay with what you're doing. That's fine.
Okay.
Um, but my coordinate, and I'm putting it first. I'm putting it at the top center just to record it. So I'm putting mine. I'm writing it on the top center. You put yours at the top center and say it out loud. I want you to say it out loud. So say your
The
coordinate out loud.
coordinate is 497795.
Okay. 497795.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on the right, on the top right, put your name. I'm writing my name. First name is good enough. And put today's date and time. So it's the 8th.
Wait, where am I putting this?
The top right of your piece of paper.
Oh, my
What you're
paper.
putting together now is what we call a transcript. So you're going to be generating your remote viewing transcript.
Okay.
Okay? So you put your name, you put the date, 48207. I'm putting the time. Mine is 7:19. I suspect yours is 10:19.
1020.
Oh, our clocks are a little different. Oh no, mine just changed. Okay. And draw a horizontal line under what you just did, so right under the time, just draw a
Okay.
horizontal line. So everything above that is intellectual, okay?
Okay.
You've now set up your transcript in an intellectual way. We need to generate the transcript, and then on the left side of the page, you'll see some guiding words. Start your RV session when you feel good about doing the session. We're still
Uh-huh.
intellectual now. And then when your remote viewing is complete, submit your transcript. That's going to be the next thing. And we'll talk about that. You need to upload that after you do your transcript. So that's the next set. So what I'd like you to do now, because I just want to give you a few more words, I'd like you to go back to my screen so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay, so are you seeing where it says describe and sketch your XXX feedback target?
Well, the screen I got back to was the We Online.
You're right. Okay, so keep looking because we're still connected to GoToMeeting. So there's a GoToMeeting screen which I'm showing, and you need to find that.
Okay, and bleh. Mm, mm, mm.
You can click it. It's like a little rainbow, not rainbow, daisy, like an orange daisy on the bottom. If you click that, it should probably come up.
No. Well, so from, oh, so should I go to the GoToMeeting page or the We First page?
No, go to the GoToMeeting page. What you will see is something that says RVQ at the top. Describe and sketch your feedback target. Do you know how to do an Alt tab to get everything that is open on your screen? If you hold down Alt and are you on a Mac or a
Yeah, I'm on a Mac.
Okay, so I don't know how to go between different screens on a Mac. I'm
Me
sorry.
neither.
Okay.
Well, wait a sec. This? No. This? Mm, no. Shoot. Oh, so there's on the bottom of the page that we were on before, it says click for tasking coordinates and also uploading of transcripts. Is that a place I need to go?
I don't know. Why don't you just experiment? But there's a page there right now which is available to you through GoToMeeting. Remember how you were seeing my screen?
Yeah.
You need now to find that page where you can see my screen. And so what
Oh,
I recommend is just looking at whatever is open, and one of them will at the very top say RVQ.
RV at the top, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know a Mac, I'm afraid.
Okay. Okay, what did you say it was called again?
It just, it says RVQ and then under it describe and sketch your feedback target. Big black white page.
Okay, so I'm on the page that has that number.
No, it's not that one. Go look at another one.
Yeah. Ah!
Okay, well maybe we can finesse that. I mean, you
So
have multiple, you went from one and you went to your email. You found your email okay. How did you find that? Did you click something at the bottom of your screen? There are like icons. There must be like
yeah,
your list of,
yeah.
so try the different icons. And it's probably one of those that look like a orange daisy.
Okay, so let me ask you something. When
Yeah.
I'm on the tasking and Q coordinate page and my email is in there and the group is in there, there's, then it says upload your one
Right.
transcript.
It's not that page, but
It's not that page.
there's an icon. There's probably a second icon that looks very similar to that.
Mm. Okay, so the only other,
Because I have the page you're talking about. That's open on mine as well. But then there's this other one.
how do I get to it?
Right. Okay. And I don't know how to even answer that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's finesse it. I'm going to talk you through this. Go back to the page where you have your 497795 coordinate.
Okay.
Okay. And on there it does say, you know, the cue, right? Describe, and the slash means describe and or sketch your, and now it'll have 497795 feedback target. What you're about to do, and I'm showing it on the screen here for the recording, so if you ever want to go back, you can see it, is feel happy, smile. When you're doing this, you want to be in a real good, positive frame of mind, okay? And I have a cute picture of a little kitty cat under the ear of a dog. But, you know, that's to smile right now, okay? And the idea of setting your intention, and you're starting to do that intellectual, and we're going to get into a meditative state shortly. But right now, you're setting your intention to describe and sketch the information you get from the future, from your wiser self, and you're also expecting to do this. Now, it's strange, but just get in your mind, your consciousness, that you don't know how it works, you don't really even care, but something comes up. It's and whatever comes up, you're going to put down on your sheet of paper, because this idea of intention and attention, and you're paying attention to your own subconscious mind. So you're not paying attention to anything else. That's it. Now, what might come up, which you'll put up on your paper, are, first of all, you tend to get big picture ideas of from the future. The subconscious seems to first like to do that. Big pictures ideas might be water. They call these things gestalts. The first thing you might get when a picture flashes, it might be a big mountain, it might be a city, you know, whatever it is, you get kind of the gestalt. You might get partial shapes, sketches, and you put those down on your sheet of paper. But you also can get the sense of textures, rough, smooth. You can get flashes of colors. And sometimes you get visual. I don't know if you're a visual person. Some people get visual images. Other people get, strangely enough, a word will come up from like out of nowhere, sort of where memories come from. You know, what did you have for breakfast? Okay, you had a memory. It like came up from nowhere. Where'd that come from? Okay, and this is how it comes up. You might get smells and tastes. You often get dimensions. You'll get a shape. The idea of a shape will come in, or you'll get a visual shape, a circle, a square, a triangle, or just an odd shape that will probably be a shape in the picture. You know, the line between two different colors, for example. You might get the sense of an interface. You get sounds, you get the sense of dynamics. Who knows what's going to come up? A lot of stuff might come up. And the one thing you want to be a little pay attention to is the intellect is still around. You want to keep the intellect thinking part to a minimum. An example of that is you might get red, you might get round. Oh, it's a basketball. And that idea is called an analytical overlay. And you write that down, basketball, and you write it on the right side of your sheet of paper. So it becomes part of the transcript. What that does when you write it down, you say, I think that's an analytical overlay. I'm naming it. It's kind of too high level. Usually you get lower level words. And then it gets rid of it, and you open yourself up. You get quiet again for a moment. You open yourself up to get more information. And it's this distinction between what's coming from the subconscious and what the intellect is doing that is one of the skills you learn.
Okay.
Okay, so now all that is intellectual crap. I've got a sheet which I put up here, and I can send it to you, which has a lot of the kind of words that you get, and then what I call kind of low-level words. They're not the naming words. You know, colors, for example, might come up. You might see them as words, but they have here sounds, things like banging, booming, buzzing. the dimensions are above, across, angular. There are a whole bunch of them. Oblong. You never know what's going to come up. Square, but they're that level of kind of words. And you might get what are called aesthetic impacts. You might get happy. You might get frightened. There might be something going on in there which may be a little scary. We tend not to have those, but you may still get it. You might get excited. Who knows what you're going to get? Okay, so you've got your coordinate now, and the last thing I want to say before we start doing this is there's something called cool down, where you get yourself quiet, you get yourself into it's like a meditative mode, and it's in this mode where you're really connecting up with the unconscious. And I believe it's through something which we won't talk a lot about now, but it's actually called quantum foam, quantum vacuum, zero-point energy. I mean, there's a lot of physics that says at the deepest level in your physical body, you're connected to everything, because every cell, every DNA element has this quantum element in it. So I'm now going to just quiet you down. Why don't you close your eyes? We're going to go quiet for maybe a minute or so. I'll give you some words with your breathing. Have you ever meditated?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all I'm going to do is start it for about a minute. You probably want to go longer than that. And when you kind of feel like you've gotten rid of the day-to-day intellectual stuff, including all the crap I've been talking about, I will say 4, 3, 2, 1, describe. Stuff may come up then or may start coming up a little later. And then just put whatever comes up on your sheet of paper, and that'll be your transcript.
Okay.
Okay? So why don't you close your eyes now, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm focusing now on my breathing, in, out. It really feels good. This quiet meditation feels good. I'm letting any day-to-day intellectual stuff just pass out of my body. Getting into this quiet place. I'm intending and expecting to connect up with my feedback session and get the information from there. I'm going to just be a witness, but then write down what I witness. You're going to describe and sketch your feedback target for 497795. 3, 2, 1. Describe. Usually people take 5 to 10, some take more minutes to do this.
Oh,
How's this going for you?
so I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Okay, you did. Okay. Um, okay, good. Put at the bottom of your transcript, this is the first one you've ever done, so part of what we're doing is just getting the protocol down. At the bottom of your transcript, write either the word end or EOS for end of session. So you've just completed your first session.
Okay.
You're back into an intellectual mode,
Okay.
right? Okay. You did it, Laura. Okay, that's cool. The one thing I didn't tell you, but I want this to be on the recording in case you go back, is usually when people start, they rewrite the coordinate below that line and say it out loud again. Not everybody does that. Not everybody does that, but it's a good thing to do as a beginner because, again, it helps entangle you with your feedback session. Okay, you did it. Now let's go back. Turns out I didn't do it just because I was thinking too much, but that's okay. We'll just focus on yours. Go back to that page, and I have to find mine, which had your coordinate on it. You managed to find that one before, so. Okay. You looking for it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So now this is a step where you have to get your transcript up to our server for the record. And so do you know how to take a picture of it and get it into your computer and how to do uploading? Have you ever sent, pictures to other people and stuff like that from your camera, from your smartphone?
Yeah.
Okay. So take a picture of your transcript.
Okay.
And then send it to yourself so it gets on your computer.
Okay.
Some people use a scanner. Most people nowadays are using their smartphones.
Yeah.
In fact,
Okay, then
turns out,
send it to myself, and then what?
okay, first send it to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so what'd you do? Send it as an email?
Oh, I haven't done it. I'm writing this down so I remember it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it actually says something like that on the page. Uh, well, submit your transcript, and the buzzword here is browse. Um, so
Yes.
you're going to
So
browse.
I was trying to follow that. It says submit one transcript to continue, and it has a number, and then it just choose a file, and I clicked on that, and I got my list of files.
Right.
But the screen, the window that came up had my list of files, but it didn't have a choose on it, and I tried clicking on the choose file again, or the submit, and it wouldn't do that. So I don't know what's going
No,
on.
it won't do that because you didn't bring in the picture yet. You haven't
Oh,
yet so what you have to do is exactly what you just did, except you browse to the picture of your transcript, the image of your transcript. So that's what you need to do now. So take an
so
image of your transcript.
wait, hang on, I gotta get the phone.
Yeah, perfect. You don't know how good this is, Laura. I mean, you are a newbie and you're going through all the things that all newbies go through.
Okay.
Now, most people will attach that to an email to themselves.
What am I gonna do? Okay.
Okay, and you received it in your email?
Wait.
Okay, so now I'm sure there's a way with the Mac, but with the a PC, I can just do a sort of click on it, open it, and save it, or sometimes I can do a direct save to some place on my computer where I can easily find it. So that's what
Okay.
you need to do now. Save it someplace because you're going to browse and then find it wherever you saved it.
I gotcha. Oh, let me see how I can do this. No, that wouldn't be it. Shoot. I know this is good for my brain learning new things.
It really is. And you're
But,
going to find that the precognition learning is good for your mind.
okay, the question is, how do I get this to my, oh, maybe pictures. Where's pictures? Photos. Let's see if that works. Yeah. But it's not a JPG file. So what? So tell me again what the next step is. So
So
I need to go.
what you're doing now is you've taken a picture of the transcript,
Yeah,
you just emailed it to yourself. You now
yeah.
have to save that picture someplace so that you can browse to it. So you just need to save it on your computer someplace where you can find it.
Yeah.
So you can look at it.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Save as.
probably taken a picture of your grandkid and saved it someplace on your computer.
Okay.
The same thing.
Um, where? No. I think this works. Now, where that went, I don't know.
Okay,
Hmm.
but you do have to know because you have to find it. So
Yeah.
usually, I don't know where things like that go. Didn't it say, did it go?
Um,
Why don't you do it again and see if it tells you where it went? Because we do have to find it or we can't do the next step.
okay. Went to. Huh. Oh, that's where it goes. Let's see. Okay. Why does it say cancel? I don't want to cancel. I want to save.
Right. Doesn't it say save there someplace too?
Yeah, but it's not clickable.
Mm.
No, maybe I can't save it in that. No, desktop. There we go. Desktop. Saving it to desktop.
Oh, that's good. Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
You click save on the desktop?
Yeah.
Okay, so now click the browse
Okay, hang on.
and see if you can find it, but don't do anything else. Just see if you can find it, and then if you click browse, it'll show up in what is now the open rectangle.
Okay. Oh boy.
What?
Huh.
You've got a lot of stuff there. Did you give it a name that you could
I did.
recognize? Okay.
I did. So,
Okay.
yikes. So what I got was this photo site A, photo site
Oh,
B.
you clicked on, okay, so you clicked on submit already.
I did.
You browsed and clicked on submit. Okay, so I'm telling you what I'm going to want to do. You did it then. Congratulations. You browsed, you
But I
clicked
don't
it.
see my thing. I see other things. Oh.
Exactly, and I'm going to show you what you do now. You ready? And in fact, I want everybody to see this. So because it's the only way I can discuss it with you, I am going to do, and I'm going to make you the presenter so I can see your screen. Okay, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, look at your screen. I'm about to click something that says verify presenter change, and on your screen, something should have just popped up which says
Yeah.
click here, and everybody's going to be able to see my screen. So make sure you don't have anything.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. So what I am now seeing is photo site A, photo site B.
Okay.
You are now in an intellectual mode where your transcript is now to be analyzed and judged versus photo site A and photo site B. these are associated with the two possible outcomes from the sporting prediction. We don't know which. I don't know which. The only person that knows which is the computer. But if you
So,
got a really good match with one versus the other, I can now make a prediction based on the computer. And I'm even going to show you how I do that as the group manager. But right
okay,
now, our job, um, your job, is to look at your transcript, and we're going to make a comparison of your transcript with PhotoSite A, and we have to give it a score. Okay, perfect. You see where it says SRI TAR confidence ranking
yeah,
with the CR 3.5?
yeah,
Click on that now, because ultimately we're going to come up with a 0 and 7, and I want you just to take a look so you get a sense of it. There you go. The 0, we see the bottom line of this judging is how good was the match in terms of a 0 to 7 scale. 0 and 1 are no or little correspondence. 2 is basically random. You got a sense that, that just could have been luck. You said black, and yeah, there's a little black in the picture. And maybe you got one other thing, but you wouldn't really feel that you got a match, that the information was psychically obtained. By the time you get to a ranking of 3, you now say, you know what, I got a mixture of correct and incorrect, but enough of the correct, and it's got a good enough feeling that I think I made psychic contact with the target. That would be a 3, but that would be right on the margin. A 4, you get up to good correspondence. You really have, my God, look at that. How could that be? It must be that I did a really good psychic connection. That's a 4. A 5 gets even higher. Russell Targ, one of the originators of remote viewing at SRI, was the guy who invented this system. And it's subjective, but nevertheless, how do you do analysis and judging? It is subjective. And but he raises it from a 4, where, yeah, you felt it was definitely psychic, to really good psychic, good correspondence. Now he adds words: unambiguous, unique, matchable elements. Oh my God, look how good that is. I really nailed one part of this. Not the whole thing, but I got elements, 2 or 3 or 4 really good things. But there's still some incorrect information. That's terrific. The 4 and 5 were really good. 6 and 7, remember we talked about those analytical overlays where you name things? Some of those turn out to be right as well. That's when you get to a 6 and a 7, and even less incorrect. And a 7 is like spot on. Everything you put on your piece of paper is right. We rarely see 7s. We rarely see 0s. Okay, and that's because there's some random stuff. Okay, so now go back. Use your back button.
Okay.
And I can't see your transcript. I don't know if
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
well, you did it. You should have it in front of you. Do you have the piece of paper of your transcript?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, so I think for now, all we can do is sort of talk through it. How many, what I would call elements, do you have on it? How many words roughly? And then did you do sketches?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over basically in the order that you did them. And next to each element, and why don't you say what that element is out loud, put either an A and or a B, or ignore it if it doesn't match. And when I say match, I have a cartoon I usually show, and we won't switch back to me, which talks about a skeptic, a really, really hard-nosed skeptic who asks the psychic for a match, and the psychic talks about an ink drawing of an orange, one other element or two, and the psychic says, oh, that's ridiculous because it's a tangerine done with ink, done with a pencil drawing. You got to give your subconscious a little space. It uses analogies. It uses things which are similar to, like on the right here, what do we have? What is that, a swan or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
I don't.
if you were to say bird or even animal, you give yourself a little partial credit. You would put maybe a little smaller B there, or you just put a full B for that. So let's go over your first element. What is it?
It's a green blob.
A green, and then you said blob.
Yeah.
Wow, doesn't this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would
Wait.
definitely give that a
There's more.
B.
And then there's an elongated shape.
Yes. Uh, Now, would you say that's an A as well?
No.
You don't want, okay, and you don't want to get too emotional now, because remember, the entanglement you want, and this is very important, the entanglement you want is with the feedback. You don't know which one of these you're going to get as feedback.
Yeah.
Right now you're leaning towards B. I can hear it in your voice and everything, but you
Well,
really want to be an impartial judge.
yeah. So given that information, when the two pictures came up, and I saw the picture of the swan, and the water is greenish, and then there's this black shadow-like thing in the upper right-hand corner. The shape of the swan is very close to the shape I drew.
Oh, wow. Okay. Next to that shape, put a nice big B. And sometimes in images, you put multiple Bs. Like, if you got the elongated beak, you'd put a B next to that. And then you might have gotten a piece of the wing. You put a B next to that. You see, these are the elements which came in that TARG system. So you're
Uh-huh.
getting a lot of those elements.
Well, so here's the whole thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Green blob, elongated shape, dark background, like a floating amoeba.
Oh, wow. Floating is beautiful. A nice big B there. And amoeba, um, I
Well,
don't know what to tell you. Maybe minor B, but, it's alive. But certainly the floating is great.
so the image I had, that I'm not very good at drawing these things, is without the swan's beak. Actually, that's not I don't think that's a swan.
Yeah, I don't know my animals well enough to know what that is
I
either.
forget
But,
what, at any rate, if you take the orange beak away,
uh-huh.
it's very close to what I drew
That's,
the outline.
and you said elongated. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is really good, Laura. I mean, that sounds, that's really good.
Okay.
So is there more on your paper?
Um, then I said, in distance, there's something else like a backdrop, and and I suppose in a way that could also be the bricks of this
Right.
this
So
stairwell.
perfect. Mark an A there. Remember, you're an unbiased judge. Also for elongated, I think the rail might very well be elongated.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you can put an A next to elongated for that as well.
Okay.
And most of the examples I see all the time always have some A's and some B's, but usually one dominates. And also there's sort of a strength to it. It's not just simply is it there, it's, oh, this is really good one. Like it looks like the shape you did without the beak, you know, to you was really strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, That's it. You don't have any other words or anything else.
No, right.
Okay. That is excellent. So what you just did was the first phase. It's almost like the analysis. You're now saying, okay, how much matches this? How much matches this? Now go down a little bit to where you've got the rankings down on your screen. There you go. There you go. Okay. Click on the option bar next to the 0. That'll give you the 0 to 7 choices. No. Leave that there. Take your mouse, and you see where it says side 497795, and then there's the 0, and then there's, click right there. Click right there. Aha. There are your choices from 0 to 7. And for A, what would you feel is an appropriate score based on the TARG understanding that we did?
Well, so above that, it says with the CR equal 3.5 being wagerable.
That's right. Notice 3 was on the margin. 4 was, you felt good psychic contact. 5 was really good psychic contact. 2 was sort of random.
So I don't know, 3.5 sounds right.
No, remember, you're looking photo site A.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
So understand that. You just don't know how good this is, Laura. What you're doing is what every newbie does. It's beautiful. You're really getting a fix now that you're putting the score in for photo site A.
I got it.
Right.
So I give it a 2.
Perfect. There you go. And now go to photo site B.
Okay. And that would be more like a 3.5.
Right. And if you felt really more comfortable, you might give it a 4. Now let me tell you, up to you. You're the judge. You know this. And again, after you do more and more of these and see the feedback, you'll have a much better sense. Now, let me just indicate the following to you. It's not precise. It's subjective. We have done studies where the same transcript was judged against the same pair, just like you did, by different people. The differences are about 1. So someone else might have given it a 4, 4.5. Some might have even given it a 3. Jane just walked in and said, hi. Wait, I want, this is all being recorded, but Laura just got a really good session.
Oh, really?
She got the shape of, go ahead up a little bit so she can see it. I want Jane to share this. She got the shape of the body and said elongated and got green blob.
Where's her picture?
Oh, well, we don't have that yet. So.
Oh, another psychic.
Right. Okay, let's finish this. She heard that. Well, everybody is psychic, you know that, but you just demonstrated it here. Okay, so let's now finish. You've done the judging.
Okay.
And the last step for the prediction, and you are now about to make a prediction, which you're going to get to see, is to fill out the comments box, the CR comments notes box, and then click submit. So this becomes part of the record that you have access to. This is all online. It goes on a server into a big database. And so you will have access to your own comments. So you should probably write something like, first time, and write whatever you want. Write what just happened. How do you feel about it?
Oops.
Very nice. Very nice. And you see, and you're enjoying it. That's so important. But not too much here for judging. Mostly enjoy the remote viewing and the feedback. Okay. First session, great experience, trusting whatever showed up, pun intended. That is terrific. And say, feel really good about green blob and shape of
Yeah.
whatever the bird-like creature is, you know. You might put something like that down there.
So I might put that, what I saw in here.
Why not? And that'll
Okay.
remind you when you come back.
Okay. Let me see. Ah. Okay.
That's terrific. And you're going to see not only is this going to be valuable for you, but this is valuable for what's called the group manager, which is me. And I'm actually going to even show you that next so you get a really good sense on how this is used. Okay, so now click submit. You did
Ooh,
it.
look at that.
You did it. So notice what comes up. Your comments, you've got the coordinate, of course. You've got your 2 confidence rankings, but you also have your personal prediction is over. For the very first time, what we put in here as the tasking was an over-under possibility. Your prediction then gets combined with the predictions from other people in the group, and an email is sent out, and here is that email.